Hey everybody, how you going? Okay, I hope you're all having an awesome day. Today I want to talk to you and ask you the question, are you a little bit psychic? Now, I'm guessing some people might say, no, of course I'm not psychic. Psychic is some kind of weird person who sits in a tent in the middle of a field with a crystal ball, right? And you know what? When I went through my psychic awakening, which is quite a few years ago now, I actually did have that perception that is what a psychic was. That a psychic was some kind of weird hippie chick sitting in a tent in a field with a crystal ball, living outside of the mainstream world. And I have to say that because that was my perception, I really resisted my gifts and really struggled to understand them, accept them, and integrate them with the rest of my life. And it was really tough. And I certainly have to say that my psychic awakening journey was actually pretty shit. Because it was kind of like, for me, that I'd had like little things come up over the years, starting from when I was probably pre-teen, was my first major incident of deja vu, which completely freaked me out. And even to this day, I'm not even sure if I've mentioned that to my parents. I should ask my mum if she remembers me saying anything. But, you know, I had that incident and then I pretty much shut down through my teenage years. But I obviously was still feeling everyone else's stuff all the time because I was highly emotional for often no reason at all, and a very frequent crier. And although I did have like self-esteem issues and that kind of stuff going on as well, when I look back in hindsight, I really feel that what was happening for me is I wasn't just only dealing with my stuff, I was also dealing with the stuff of the other people around me. Because here's the thing, if you are energetically sensitive, intuitive, a little bit psychic, however you choose to describe yourself, you can pick up other people's stuff. And the really challenging thing is if you aren't even aware that you're doing this, then that can make your journey so much more challenging and really freaking difficult. And in hindsight, I really wish that I had understood that, or someone had looked at me and said, hey Lou, this is what's going on for you, and then helped me to use some strategies to manage that better for myself. Heck, just understanding and an awareness of what was happening would have helped me. So that is one sign that you might be a little bit psychic too, that you might find and feel like you're picking up the emotions and the energies of the people and sometimes the places and the objects around you. Because energy is everywhere, right? And if you think about the fact that as an energetic being, you're an energetic being having a human experience. Hey Janice, how you doing, honey? Makes you think a little bit, yeah, absolutely. So, if you find that you feel buffeted, if you go into a particular location, for example, and you feel suddenly really sad or really angry or whatever it is that comes up for you, be really aware that you're an energetic being having a human experience, a physical experience, so you are going to be picking up the stuff around you, and that energy is everywhere. So an energy can be, you know, in people, in places, in things, in the air, okay? So that might be one sign that you might call yourself a little bit psychic, or at very least intuitive, energetically sensitive. Another thing that people often mention to me is dreams and premonitions. And I had so many conversations with people where they say to me, oh, you know, I have this dream and then something the same, what I've dreamed about actually happens. But I don't really know if that's really a premonition. And I'm like, well, you know, if you dream about it and then it happens as you dreamt about it, then it is a premonition. It just is, right? And that same thing, you know, I have people who say to me, I get really strong deja vu and I feel like I've been here before. And I said, well, you probably have been, except it was maybe in a previous life. And then of course you can get into things like quantum physics, which quite honestly twists my own brain into a pretzel. I'm not even going to go there in today's conversation because I'm not qualified to talk about that. But I know that some people might explain deja vu away as the fact that it's part of that quantum physics mindset that, so let me just get comfortable here, that we actually are living multiple timelines at the same time. So, being affected by the energy of people, places and things around you, premonitions through dreams. Another thing with a premonition too is that sometimes it might actually happen just when you are walking around. Like you may not even dream it. You might just get this flash of something and then you'll go, oh, what was that? It was weird. And then you'll just kind of let it go. And then down the track that thing will happen and you're like, whoa, what was that? You're just getting like a peek through to the future. You're really picking up on the energetic thread of something that's going to happen, that's something that is yet to happen, is really what's going on for you. So once again, like, this is energy. This is how energy works. Some of the other things that you could experience, sorry, I just had a call there I had to decline, could be that you have visions. And this is something that I have found, particularly when I have a strong heart connection with someone. And I have to tell you, when that when that first started happening for me quite a few years ago, I was really strongly heart connected to a man at the time who I was very much in love with. And after we broke up, actually, well, after he ripped my heart out, at least I can laugh about it now, right? But after that happened, I found that I had the ability to, quite without intention, so this stuff just started happening. And this is where the whole psychic intuitive stuff can really throw you, because the universe will basically say, here, you can do this, and you'll be like, what the fuck, like what, I don't understand what is going on, and you'll feel like you're going a bit crazy. So what would happen for me is, after this man and I had split up, I would have visions of him in real time, of what he actually was doing in real time. So I think some people call that remote viewing. And I have to say that was really disconcerting when that first started happening to me, because it had never happened before, and I was so connected to him still emotionally that it was just like my channel was wide open. And I know that, so that's been my experience, and it's something that I've had to learn how to manage. Which is another reason why I'm so passionate about helping people who are intuitive to learn how to manage their gifts, because this stuff can really mess with your head, because your mind is trying to grapple with this stuff. Your mind doesn't understand, you know, it doesn't make sense, right? It's not reasonable, it's not rational to have these experiences. And so when they do happen, your mind is like, whoa, like what's going on? And you feel like you're losing your mind sometimes. But you're actually not. It's just that you have these levels of sensitivity that other people don't necessarily have around you or don't talk about. Because I have to say, there are a lot of people who I know who are energetically sensitive, highly intuitive, who pick up random bits and pieces, but they just don't ever talk about it. And I guess that's one of the things I'm really passionate about, is having more conversations about this kind of stuff, so that we can integrate. So first of all, we can learn how to manage these gifts for ourselves in a way that is healthy and grounded. And the second, so that we can actually integrate our gifts into our everyday lives, so we can get out there and live our mission, right? What it is that you are here to do. Because otherwise, if we don't, we have this constant kind of battle between our intuition, our energetic sensitivity and awareness, and our desire from our mind to control things in a very reasoned and rational and logical manner. And that battle is not fun. That battle can be completely exhausting. And I have lived that battle, and I've fought that battle time and again, and there is no future in that battle. I have to tell you that. It's crazy. But I guess that's actually one of the biggest challenges. if you are someone who has these kinds of gifts, is to really to understand that you cannot fight these parts of you, and if you do fight them, which some people attempt to, you actually aren't going to help yourself to move forward. You're not going to bring yourself joy. It's not going to help you to live the fullest expression of who you are and what you're here to do. Because those beautiful gifts that you've got, you've agreed to have them at a soul level before you came here in this lifetime, and you've agreed to have them for a reason, so they can be integrated into your life so you can do what you're here to do. So I really want to encourage you to first of all come to that level of awareness and understanding for yourself. If any of the things that I've talked about in this video have resonated with you, is to first of all really go, okay, I can see that this is happening to me and I am not going crazy. And this of course is excluding, mental illness, which is quite a different thing. Being psychic or highly intuitive or highly energetically sensitive is not the same as being mentally ill. Okay? But you might feel like you're going crazy if you don't understand what your gifts are. And honestly, when basically all the psychic lights started going on for me during my year of psychic awakening, which as I mentioned was pretty traumatic, I really did think that I was losing my mind. I was smelling things that weren't in the physical. I was knowing things that I couldn't possibly know. I was hearing things. Feeling things. It was nuts. Completely crazy stuff. And not anything I'd had a real experience with before or any real understanding of before. Didn't know anyone really. I had one mentor, but it was really not someone close to me I didn't know anyone in my family who really talked about this stuff openly. And I actually did ring my mum at one point and say, do you think I need to get the man in the white coats to come and get me? And I'm so grateful to my mum. At that point she said, no, I just think that you see things that other people don't. And honestly, that comment was an absolute blessing to me. And I guess I just what I'd like is to make that comment to you as well, to share my mum's wisdom with you, in that if this stuff is happening to you, you're not crazy. You're just aware of things that a lot of other people aren't, and that is actually a gift. But if you don't learn how to manage that gift, it will manage you, and that will not be a fun experience. I'm just looking at your comment there now, Janice. Drives you crazy when other people are, up and down. Yeah. Other people's stuff. When we haven't learnt the tools to help us manage our energetic sensitivity, then we can really get thrown around by everyone else's stuff, and that is no way to live. So if that is you, I really want to strongly encourage you to go and find somebody, whether it's me, this is something that I specialize in, or whoever you feel resonates with you. Seek that person out and learn the tools you need and the strategies you need to learn so that you can manage this stuff for yourself. Okay? Because it's not going away. And you know what? I have met women in their 60s who've said, oh yeah, this happens to me and it just throws me all over the place, but I'm just going to push that down. I'll push that down and just not deal with it because that's just the way it is. And I have to say to you, no. And when you have that kind of attitude, I'm going to be really blunt here. If you have the kind of attitude that, oh yeah, I keep getting thrown around by other people's stuff, but that's just the way it is, I just have to live with that, I'm going to be a victim in that, and I see that a lot in people when they post about being an empath, which just makes my blood boil, and you've probably seen me do videos about that before. It's just such a big trigger for me. when people say, you know, all empaths are this and they will always be a victim of narcissists and la la la, all this victimhood propagation, which I find just so disgraceful. It really, really is, and it's irresponsible of people who should know better, because your gifts are a beautiful thing, but they don't mean that you have to be a victim. But the onus is on you to go and seek the support and the guidance so you can learn the tools, so you can manage your gifts in a way that is sustainable for you. Because the actual downside of this stuff, if you don't manage it, it will manage you. So if you are constantly taking on other people's energy all the time and you don't know how to clear it out, that is going to make you sick. It's going to make you unwell, because you're going to have all that stuff churning around in you. You've got to be able to clear it out. You've also got to be able to have good, strong energetic boundaries so you can buffer that stuff. Now, does that mean that sometimes does that mean that you will stop feeling other people's stuff? No, it really doesn't mean that at all. But it means that you can manage that energetic vibration in a way that is far healthier for you. Anyway, I feel like I've gone on quite a lot in this video and down a couple of rabbit holes I wasn't expecting to go down. But I'm hopeful that some of the stuff I've covered today, that you can actually pull out some parts of that and go, oh yeah, I can see that I do that, and oh okay, yeah, all right. And that you realize that you're not crazy and that it is actually happening. And also, I think the other just message I want to leave you with is that no two people who are intuitive, psychic, however you, like wherever you are in that continuum, no two people are going to have exactly the same kinds of experiences. You're going to have things that you can relate to, like you might have visions, but you might see them in a different way. Like someone might see them in black and white, someone might only see them when they dream. Someone might be more prone to feeling stuff, whereas another person might be more prone to just knowing stuff. You know, everyone is slightly different in how this manifests, but there are certainly ways that you can learn how to manage it, which is what my work is all about, right? I'm just really passionate about this stuff, and I'm also really passionate about saying, hey, let's have some self-accountability and some self-responsibility in this space, and understand that we are not victims of our gifts, but they are powerful freaking gifts. They are powerful. And I think that a lot of people really resist learning how to manage their gifts or even acknowledging them because they don't want to own their own power. Hey, Brittany. So I'm really saying, if that is you, I want to encourage you to be self-accountable, to understand that you're not crazy, and then to move forward and to learn how to manage your gifts in a nice, grounded way that's healthy for you, so you can get out there and do what you're here to do on the planet. Okay? So I hope that was helpful. If it was, please let me know. I'd love to hear from you, of course. And you know, if this is something that you are struggling with right now, if you want to learn how to manage your gifts and understand what's going on for you, so you can move forward a lot more confidently and in a lot more balanced way, then please get in touch. This is what I specialize in. Anyway, until next time, wherever you are and whatever you're doing, I hope you are learning how to trust yourself more and more every day, and I can't wait to see what you do next. Take care, and I will talk to you soon. Bye for now.